Hi, I'm Officer Emilio Morales.
And I'm Officer Michael Failing. We'd like to invite you to the Back to School Do the Right Thing picnic.
Sponsored by the Morning Journal, the Lorraine Police Department, and Lorraine City Schools. Come join us at the Black River Landing on Saturday, August 28th, between 1 and 4 p.m. We will have free food, activity zones, free entertainment, free school supplies, and lots of fun. Don't miss it. Once again, that's Saturday, August 28th, from 1 to 4 p.m. at Black River Landing. We're going to have a great time, so come join us.
See you there.
Time now for Focus, your weekly news program about Lorraine City Schools from WLCS TV 20. Now your host, Ron Bakalar.
Welcome once again to Focus. About 2.5 months ago, a letter appeared in the Morning Journal, and it was a letter that really touched my heart because it dealt with a subject that is near and dear to me, and one that we have talked about numerous times here on the Focus program on TV 20. I'd like to begin by reading that letter to you. I am writing in response to a quote in an article about Lorraine Catholic closing. A grandmother credits her children's success to attending a Catholic high school. I am Catholic. My 2 daughters went to St. Peter's School, and they both chose to go to public school at Lorraine Admiral King. I credit my oldest daughter's success to attending a public high school. She was enrolled in honor courses in the National Honor Society, editor of the yearbook, president of her class, and received 3 scholarships. She earned straight A's for all the hard work she had done. In her senior year, she attended high school and Lorain County Community College. She is completing a 5-year program in 3 years, graduating this coming December from Kent State University. My youngest daughter is a sophomore at Admiral King, a public school, enrolled in honors courses. She has earned straight A's and is in the National Honor Society. She participates in sports. She also will attend Lorain County Community College in her senior year. She is eligible to attend in her junior year. I attribute their success to themselves and to their teachers. It also was stated that there is no discipline for students or respect for teachers in public schools. How do you know? I have been there. I see respect and I see discipline. Sure, you may have some students that cause trouble. What school doesn't? Even in Catholic schools. I feel what my daughters have absorbed in Admiral King has helped them now rather than later in life. They are prepared for the real world. I am just so tired of reading and hearing nothing but negativity about Admiral King. I attend my daughter's school conferences, sports events, and volunteer. I see a lot of respect and sportsmanship that these children have for their school. Signed, Sherry Pankratz, Lorain, Ohio. Well, we're here, as we've said again so often, not to accentuate the negative, but to accentuate the positive and to kind of put the negative off to the side. So we're here to really point out the significance that you've heard us say so many times. The Lorain Public Schools can and do provide the very best in education, providing the students come with the desire to learn. Well, the 2 subjects in mind, the oldest daughter and the youngest daughter, are with us on Focus, and I'd like to introduce them both. To my immediate left is the younger, the sophomore at Admiral King, Sarah Pankratz, and to my far left is the older sister, older daughter, Amanda Pankratz, who will be graduating from Kent State University, my alma mater, by the way. As you know, all right, now let's begin with you, Mandy. You came from St. Peter's by choice to Admiral King.
Yes, I did.
Could you have gone to Lorain Catholic if you would have wanted to?
Yes. We, in my house, we have a choice. And actually, I went to Lorain Middle School. I chose to go earlier than my sister chose to.
Okay.
Because I felt that St. Peter's, though it did give me a great foundation, I mean, I have great study skills, you know, thanks to that, but I mean, I wanted to expand. I wanted to do foreign languages, art, and more sports and extracurricular activities than St. Peter's offered me. And so I chose to go that route onto Admiral King because they provided me with more opportunities. Just, I mean, yeah.
Now, we talked prior to our doing the program, the idea of you reap what you sow. You came in, obviously, beginning with the Lorraine Middle School, then continuing on to Admiral King High School with the attitude that you wanted to reap whatever the school system had to offer. Do you feel that the offering was everything you expected and then some?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I would have never imagined, you know, coming into Admiral King that I would be taking college courses before I graduated high school. I mean, I got every experience and then some that I wanted. I got to, you know, exercise my leadership, my sportsmanship. I got to, you know, dibble-dabble in telecommunications. I mean, everything I wanted to do, I got to do.
And we're not talking college-level classes in the high school. We're talking about
PSEO.
being in high school and going to take college classes. And what was that like for you?
It was great. I mean, I was very well prepared for it, and it's kind of intimidating being, you know, the 17-year-old in a college class, but it's a great experience, and it really gives you confidence to go on to college. I would encourage more children to do it. I mean, you get in there and it's, you know, the big world, but, you know, you can do it. It's just like, you know, well, this isn't so bad. And, you know, that I had that experience going into college. Many of my friends, you know, really wish that they would have done it too, or they had that opportunity.
Now, when you were at Admiral King, what were some of the specialty classes that you took, aside from the requirements like English and social studies and science and mathematics?
I took telecommunications, where that was a lot of fun. I got to, you know, learn how to edit, and I mean, just that experience alone really got me leading into what I'm doing now, which is advertising. I like that aspect of the business. And I got to do speech. I really got over my fear of, you know, speaking in front of people, obviously. And I got to go to a speech competition, the Rotary speech competition, and I won as a sophomore. I beat out the seniors. I mean, that was, you know, great. It was a great opportunity. I did drama, I did plays. That was also another thing of, you know, confidence. And really, high school was a big confidence builder for me.
So it sounded like you were really specializing in that area of communication, which, as I know and now you know, is what it's all about in our society today. If you cannot communicate, no matter how smart, how intelligent you are, they're really not interested. They want that person who can open his or her mouth and speak intelligently. The video production class that you took, as you indicated, you learned how to edit videotape. You've spent time here at TV20 when you were in high school. Now you went off to Kent State University. What about your experiences there?
Kent's been great. I'm actually in a 5-year program. I'm graduating in 3.5 years. You know, due to the PSEO classes I took internet classes over the summer while working, and I mean, it all just, I wanted to get it done. I want to, you know, get out there, and I have that drive in me, which, I mean, you have to have to, you know, learn and get out there. I've learned so much from Kent. I'm in advertising, which isn't exactly broadcasting, but I just finished doing a case study on a real client where I actually got to present it to the client himself and the agency. I mean, it's been a great real-world experience, about as close as you can get to, you know, actually being in the business.
Now, we pointed out that you're going to be graduating from Kent State December of this year, 2004. What happens after that for Mandy?
After that, my internship is leading into a job. I start a management training program June 12th for the Ryzen Group, which is a advertising and marketing firm based in Cleveland. And then after I graduate, I pick up where I left off, and 3 to 6 months after that, I'll be at management level at their agency.
And do you know specifically what you're going to be doing?
I'm going to be an account executive.
Oh, okay.
Mainly. I'll, you know, be the liaison between our agency and our clients. I kind of dibble-dabble with a little bit of everybody. I'm the official communicator.
I know when I spent time in broadcasting once upon a time, they used to refer to the people who went out to make the sales as sales reps, now account executives. A fancy term.
Sounds so much better.
Yes, it sounds so much greater. Now, let's get back to Admiral King. In addition to your classwork, you were very much involved. Your mom's letter pointed this out. Talk about your extracurricular activities at King.
Extracurricular activities, God, I did so many. I was my class president. I was president of my class. That really, I mean, organization skills, that drilled it home for me. I was the editor of the yearbook starting my sophomore year, I think it was. And I mean, that was a really good experience. It really gives you real world publishing experience. I mean, that is how a book, any publication is put together. And being in journalism, I know that now. I did Foreign Language Club, which that was a great experience, getting to do Special Olympics. I'd encourage anybody to do that. What other things did I do? Student Council, that's a really good one, getting involved with homecoming and all of that. I mean, it's just something you have to do in high school. I took so much more away from high school because I did that. And while I was in all my extracurricular activities, I did hold a job and, you know, paid for my car and all that. So it's not like it's all that time consuming, but it's made me a much better, well-rounded person.
Now, not to be critical, but you said this is something I have to do. Can we maybe change that have to want to? This is something you really wanted to do.
I did want to do
I mean,
it.
nobody put a gun to your head and said, hey, you got to be yearbook editor, or you got to be in student council, or you have to be senior class president. This is something you wanted to do.
Yeah.
And you pursued it.
Yeah, even just like with our parents, you know, it's your choice. It's your time, it's your school, it's your future, it's your choice. And just like we chose to go to public school versus private school, we chose to get into the extracurricular activities. Like, I did try sports a little bit. I wasn't as successful as my sister is, so I went the extracurricular route. You know, as is, you know, she goes the sports route, that works for her. And yeah, you have to want to, and you have to remember, a lot of people don't think of the grand scheme of things. Okay, when I went into high school, I'm already thinking, I'm going to go down to college. What can I get out of high school that I can take on to college? They're all stepping stones, and you really have to go there with the ambition and treat it that way.
So you did not pursue that higher secondary education blindly. You knew up front, well in advance, I've got a goal, I want to go for it, and this is what I'm going to do to accomplish it.
Yeah, the sooner you start.
And how much, and you've alluded to it, but I want to bring it out again because I just believe it's so important. How much of this was influenced by mom and dad at home, support?
Oh, my mom and dad are very, very supportive parents. Like my mom said, she's always at the games. I mean, they're very supportive. I mean, that's how it is in my family. You get straight A's, you know, it's not like, you know, oh, good job. You know, they recognize that, like, oh, straight A's again, you know, thumbs up. No, I mean, it's really encouraged and rewarded in my household. I mean, we see it with examples in our family, you know, it's always kind of been tradition that, you know, that's how you raise your children. And, I mean, it shows. My parents are successful because their parents did that, and, you know, hopefully we will be too.
Well, let's not ignore Sarah anymore. We're going to go over to Sarah now, the sophomore. Sarah, you didn't bother with the middle school in the Lorain Public School system. You went from 8th grade at St. Peter's directly to Admiral King. What was that experience like for you?
Transitioning from a private school to a public school was a big change for me, and I wanted to make that change because I could have went to Lorain Catholic, but I thought Admiral King had more opportunities as what I wanted to do, which was telecommunications. And so I decided, you know, I want to change. So I went to Admiral King, and now I'm a sophomore. I've had straight A's. I'm involved in 3 sports. 2 of them are varsity, which is softball and volleyball, and then I play JV basketball.
And I have to point out in your behalf, you started as a freshman on the varsity volleyball team.
I think it was softball. I started varsity. This year, as a sophomore, I'm on volleyball varsity team.
But you weren't you on the volleyball team your freshman year
Yeah,
as a varsity member?
No, I was on JV.
Oh, okay. I thought, you know, we did TV 20 volleyball, and I was almost convinced that...
This year I was on varsity.
Okay. So your freshman year, you were involved in volleyball, but on the JV squad?
No, I was mainly on freshman, but I dressed for JV.
Okay, all right, that clears it up. And then you were also involved with the basketball team
Basketball.
on the freshman team, and you started as a varsity player your freshman year for softball.
Yes.
Now, how much of this sporting experience did you have coming in to Admiral King? I know you've been involved in sports for a long time.
Yeah. I played softball ever since I was in first grade, and basketball second, and volleyball I started in sixth grade. But I had really good coaches, and the coaches there are the ones at LC. They coached me and taught me how to play the game, and I've loved it ever since, and I wanted to continue through high school.
Do you anticipate maybe you've got, what, 2 more years to go at Lorraine Admiral King, that a possible athletic scholarship could come your way?
If it does, I will jump on it, but I would rather just focus on my academics when I'm in college, because sports won't get me through life. Maybe, for one last time will be fun, but I'd rather just focus on what I want to do for the rest of my life and my career.
Now, your sister Mandy got involved in that communications area of the curriculum at Admiral King and is going to be going now into advertising. You indicated telecommunication. What would that goal of yours eventually become?
I would like to go to Toledo University and major in film and video, and I'd like to be a producer someday. And next year I'll be taking advanced video, because this year I took basic video. And then I'll be taking other classes like film as literature and creative writing, just so I know like the writing aspects of it.
Do your plans also include taking some of those LCCC classes while you're at high school?
I'm taking one class next year, is the English one, but usually seniors take PSEO, but I wanted to start early because I felt I was ready to. So I took the asset test last semester, and I got my results back, and I tested into English 161, 162. So I'll be taking that next year, and if I can, I might take the biology PSEO just to get that out of the way.
Wow.
And then my senior year will pretty much all be PSEO.
Now, either one of you, please correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't it true that you can take these college classes, getting college credit at no expense to you?
Yes.
Even books are free.
That's the best part.
And the books are free?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Pay for books, nothing.
Wow, what an opportunity.
If I could only done more.
What a golden opportunity, and it's available within the Lorraine Public School system. Something that I'm sure not that many people are aware of, and I'm glad we're able to bring that particular fact out. What kind of classes, in addition to the telecommunication, are you taking? Basically, I imagine as a sophomore, you're getting a lot of those requirements out of the way towards graduation.
I've been in advanced studies. I just got done with, last semester I took English 2. Right now I'm in global studies, which is a social studies credit. Then I'm in biology right now. I just got done with algebra 2 geometry. And I think I only need like one of each, and I should be done, and then that way I'll be taking more, I could take more PSEO credits.
Now, is there any chance that you just might be able to graduate from Admiral King sooner than the complete 4 years?
I could probably, but I'd rather not. That way
Okay.
I could take full advantage of the PSEO in my senior year.
Great, super. Now, what I need to ask, since you both came in from private schools to a public school, and a school, and let's be honest, that has not always gotten its fair shake as far as press is concerned, were your anxieties just a little bit higher than maybe the normal individual, and how did you cope with those anxieties, if in fact you had any? You know, like, geez, what am I getting into?
It's a little, I mean, it was a little intimidating coming from a school where total you have like maybe 200 people to where your class size alone is more than that. I mean, that was a little bit intimidating, but I really didn't find it hard to adjust at all. If anything, I was like, oh, this is fun. Like, this is so different. I mean, it was just kind of like, I was like boom, 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 going places, left and right. I really liked it. And culturally diverse, I mean, coming from a Catholic school into a public school, I mean, for some kids, it's kind of like culture shock. To me, I'm like, okay, this is more, what the real world is going to be like. We're not in our little bubble, in private school. This is more, it's more real.
So you came in obviously with an open mind and an attitude of, I want to be a part of what's happening. Now, as I'm sure you're aware, there's a movie out called Mean Girls.
I saw that.
Have either one of you happened to see that movie?
I've seen it.
You've seen it, Sarah?
Yeah.
Is there any similarity between what you've seen and what you've experienced in your public education?
At Emerald King, yeah, there might be some cliques, but everyone just gets along with everybody. You might have, your occasional, people that could be ignorant, but everyone just gets along with everybody, and you have fun. You don't really care about, what other people think and stuff like that. It's not so cliquey. At private school, there are a lot of cliques that I've been experienced with, but public school is not so much. I mean, they get along with everybody. It's just fun.
Now, the fact that you two have been and are involved beyond the classroom, you're going to run into special people on student council, and by and large they're caring people. And the same thing with the yearbook people and the senior committee of which you were president, and in your case the volleyball, the basketball, and the softball. All of the girls involved have the same common interest, and you have formed a camaraderie within those particular extracurricular organizations and activities that can help and sustain you through. Is this a safe assumption?
Yeah, definitely.
Because, and the reason I bring this out, and as you may or may not know, my granddaughter is now a 7th grader at Shiloh Middle School in Parma, having attended Bethany Christian Academy up until this point. And she's experiencing a lot of that mean girl business, but she's involved in volleyball, she's involved in basketball, she's now involved in track. She's on 2 fast-pitch softball teams during the summer months in the Parma City League. She races go-karts, and she's been dancing since the age of 4, jazz, ballet, and modern dance, and appears in recitals. Now, she comes into a public environment, and all of a sudden, here's this newcomer who gets very much involved, and the wannabes who don't, I think it's more a case of jealousy.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
Do you?
Totally agree.
And that's what I kind of shared with her. I said, Corey, you just let it go. Don't get upset. They're jealous. You're involved, and you're making something of your life. They're not. They're just there. They're attending. And again, the whole idea, you reap what you sow. Now, what advice would you give, and I want both of you to respond to this, our viewers out there who are watching this and saying, my son or my daughter, or son and daughter, they're approaching high school age, Lorraine Catholic is closing down, and we're not here to say anything negative about Lorraine Catholic, but the idea it is. The reality is it's closing. Do I really want to send them to Admiral King? What would you say to people who really have a question or concern? Mandy, you first.
Don't knock it till you try it. That's what I'd really like to say to a lot of parents, because like you said, the negative press really gives Admiral King a very false facade. I mean, it's a great school. Have your kids shadow. I mean, it's as simple as that. Meet new people and just experience it. It's their lives. Let them experience it. Don't make their decisions for them. Of course, you guide them. That's what parenting is. But Admiral King's a great school. I would not be the person I am today if I would have stayed in public school or in private school, where I wouldn't have taken as many foreign languages and extracurricular activities or even sports like I did. I mean, it made me out to be a very, not to be like conceited or boasting about myself, but I think I'm a pretty good person. And I would encourage any parent to send their child to Admiral King, at least experience it before, you totally cross it off the list.
Sarah, how would you respond?
I agree with her. A lot of people, they base their decisions on what they read or hear in the press, and it's not true. You shouldn't pass judgment on just by what you hear. And I used to be friends with a lot of those people that go to LC, and I kind of hear about what decisions they're making for what high school they want to choose, and it's their decision. But yeah, public schools aren't bad at all. If you give it a try, it's just a school. I mean, the only difference is, you don't wear uniforms, or there's a lot more people, and it's like there's more. I think there's more opportunities at public schools than there are in private schools, because there's certain things you have to abide by, and I don't know. I just think that they should just try to give it a try. Like a couple of my friends I know have shadowed, and they loved it. I mean, they shadowed Clearview, and they loved it too. So.
But there are opportunities. You're saying public school, and there are opportunities right here in Lorain. Admiral King High School, Southview High School certainly have every and any opportunity that a young man, a young lady would want to pursue. It kind of reminds me of the situation currently in our news, and has been for the past few weeks. The situation in Iraq with the military police officers. We're looking at maybe a dozen individuals who really kind of messed up, but yet the focus is on that handful of people and not the over 100,000 military personnel in Iraq who are doing a great job. Okay. Building schools, building hospitals, constructing roads, helping to maintain freedom. Where's the emphasis? Where do we ever read or see anything about them? And basically it's the same situation at King and Southview. Yeah. We don't read or hear about all the goodness that takes place. And the vast majority of the students are there to learn. Is that a safe assumption?
Very safe. Just like you said, what's newsworthy sells, and
yeah,
they don't want to hear about the good
Amen.
stuff. They think it's boring. So yeah, the bad stuff, it's juicy.
We just have a couple of minutes left, and I want to close with something that, again, I feel very important that we've dealt with on so many of our programs. And we've looked into the camera so many times and said, Mom, Dad, get behind your students. How important is it to you to have known that your mom, Sherry, and your dad, David, have been there to support you all the way?
Oh, it's so important. I mean, I would go as far to say, they're our backbone. Definitely. I mean, kids need inspiration. Okay, you're not born with it. You get it from somewhere, and it comes from your parents. I mean, I thank God for my parents every day, that they were so, driving and encouraging, because, I mean, I wouldn't be on the path that I am today. I could have, went down the wrong path, as, many people that I know. But, thanks to them, I owe them a lot.
Sarah?
I think you need your parents to be involved so they can get you motivated to, hey, you need this education so you can succeed in life. So as long as your parent, if your parents approve and they back you up, then you should be doing it.
And I know when we've covered on TV 20 volleyball, basketball games, who do I see in the stands? Your mom, sometimes your mom and dad, if your dad is not working beyond the scheduled time of that athletic event, but there's somebody always there to support Sarah, and that's fantastic. And even when you were playing Sandlot softball, I know I came to a couple of your games, and your mom was always there, and your dad when he could make it. So that is important, that is significant. Listen, our time is up, and I do want to thank you both for coming on the program and for bringing to life this great letter that your mom wrote on your behalf and on behalf of the Lorain Public Schools. And I have to confess in all sincerity, I know these two young ladies because we've been neighbors for about the last 13 years. And we used to have a basketball net in our yard that we took down, and guess where it all of a sudden appeared? And who would be bouncing that basketball but Sarah? So I feel like I've had a little bit of a contribution to your athletic expertise. All right, folks, you've heard it firsthand. Admiral King High School, Southview High School, both providing wonderful opportunities. All you have to do is go with the attitude, I want to learn. The best teachers involved, the greatest opportunities involved. Go with the positive attitude, and it will happen for you. And above all, moms, dads, get behind those youngsters. Thanks again, Sarah and Mandy Pankratz. Until next time, Lorraine.
This has been a production of Lorraine City Schools TV 20 WLCS.